Jesus said, anything you ask in prayer believing, you shall receive it. And one of the things that Jesus did was he took prayer and faith and he brought them together. And if you want to really have power in your prayer life, you need to combine prayer with faith, because the two go together. I remember as a new Christian that I came to Christ and I didn't know anything about the Bible, and God had called me to preach and bring the gospel to the nations of the world. And my pastor encouraged me to go to a Christian college and learn the Bible. So I transferred from the state school. Now at the state school, I had scholarships. I had my way paid for to go to school. But at the Christian school, I didn't have anything. No scholarships. It was costly, much more expensive, and so I didn't know what I would do. And God began to teach me about faith and trusting Him, praying and believing, trusting Him to meet every single need. And so I'll never forget, I went and heard a man by the name of Manly Beasley. He was a great teacher on faith, and he was in this little country church speaking about faith, and I went and heard him speak. I came under such conviction that I knew nothing of the kind of faith that this man was talking about, that I couldn't even finish hearing his message. I got up and I walked out of the church, and I found a place under the trees, and I knelt in that little place and I called on God and I asked God to do a work in my life. The next day I went to the administration building at the college and I asked them, I said, what is my bill going to be for the year? And I'll never forget, they opened up the books and they looked and they said, well, you won't owe anything. I said, what do you mean? They said, well, Sammy Tippett Scholarship Fund's taking care of it. I said, there's no scholarship. I don't have a scholarship. And they said, you do. I said, well, who's sponsoring the scholarship? They said, it's anonymous. I went back to my room and I got on my knees and I said, thank you, Lord. And God began to teach me how to walk and how to live by faith. You see, prayer and faith combined makes great things. For Jesus said, anything you ask in prayer, believing, you shall receive it. When God gives you something to do, when you know it's His will, you can believe Him, you can trust Him, and He will do great and mighty things. So if He's called you to do something, go to Him in prayer, believe Him, and then see what He will do.